What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Humans. Back at it with another review. And today we're continuing our Final Destination review series, and now we are going to be reviewing the second film in the franchise, Final Destination 2. But before we get into actual beginning of the review itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you know the channel, because it's absolutely free, and to also maybe help the YouTube algorithm and recommend the video to more people, and maybe they could join. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on Final Destination 2 down below. But with that being said, guys, let's give a quick plot synopsis of the film, shall we? So transition and choose me.
Kimberly has a premonition of a horrible highway accident killing multiple people, including her and her friends. She blocks the cars behind her on the ramp from joining traffic. As a police officer arrives, the accident accidentally happens. Now death is stalking this group of mistaken survivors, and one by one they are dying as they were supposed to on the highway.
So, for those who missed my full-length review of the first film, I think that it is genuinely still a great film to this day, and a great kickoff to one of the best one of the best and most consistent horror franchises out there, maybe besides one movie, but I haven't seen that one movie yet, which I'm actually watching that one tonight. If you know, you know. And I love that film, and this one I have also seen twice before, and so this was my third time revisiting it. And, well, with that being said, let's just get into the actual review itself, shall we? Alright, so starting off with the good, and this is probably the best opening premonition sequence of the whole entire franchise, and that is the pile-up sequence.
I mean, even for people that haven't even seen these movies know about the pile-up sequence. This has made people afraid of log trucks forever, and rightfully so, and just overall a phenomenal opening sequence, and probably one of the best opening sequences in all of horror, honestly.
Another thing in here that the Final Destination franchise has, well, especially with these first three movies, that they're consistent with is the kills. And this continues to deliver here yet again as well. And probably this has the best kills of the whole entire franchise. Whether it's the one dude that's from X2, X-Men United, that gets crushed by like a glass platform with running into a group of pigeons, that always makes me cringe a little bit. There's also the woman getting her head decapitated with the elevator doorway. I thought that's a very that was a very good kill. Yeah, just overall the kills in this I thought were genuinely great, and probably are tied with are in the conversation for the best kills of the whole entire franchise. Another thing in here is the characters. I like pretty much all the characters in here. You have a
stoner character in here by the name of Rory. Then you also have the character of Eugene that doesn't believe that Death's chasing after him, which he soon finds out that isn't the case. Then you also have Claire returning from the past film as well.
They're all very, very likable, and you want them to survive. Next thing in here is the reveal of why Death's chasing after these characters. So there's a mid-reveal later on in the movie that I found very interesting, and then a very interesting like twist to continue the lore going with Death from the first film. I won't get into it here, but because spoilers. But I will talk spoilers later, just for my two negatives. One of my negatives that I have to get off my chest because it angered me. But I think that was generally a very interesting way to go with how everything's set up. Another thing as well that the first film did good and this one does even more so good with is the fake outs. With the people you think you're going to die this one way, and then they end up looking like they're going to die this one way instead. But nope, they completely die another way. So I think they did probably the best fake outs in this one as well. Thought they did good with that. And as well, the final positive I have in here is the tense sequences. There are some genuine tense sequences because you do want these characters to live, and whether it's the what I think like the ambulance, yes, ambulance getting thrown right into the river, the giving birth to a baby scene, yeah, pretty much all the scenes in this one are intense. So thoroughly enjoy that as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film. So the parts of the film where I'm 50-50 on them with how I feel. And this one I'm leaning more towards mixed negative, and that is the Tony Todd sequence in here. Don't get me wrong, I love Tony Todd as an actor, rest in peace, a great actor in so many ways, but in the first film, you had the, of course, iconic sequence from there.
While not making a whole lot of sense how he knows all these things, I still love it just because it has Tony Todd in it. And in this one, I actually don't like this one as much as the first one because they're just doing the same thing as the last film with the sequence to maybe go for some fan service.
Next thing I'm going to talk about in here is the ending. I'm very 50-50 on the ending because it doesn't make sense, but it still kind of works a little bit, but it's still overall just such a weird ending, but it makes up for it with the actual ending shot of the movie. So, which with another big cliffhanger ending by just like the first film, but I still prefer the first film's ending by a little margin. And next thing I have in here is Claire's usage in this film, which I'm gonna talk spoilers here, but them bringing her back to just kill her off for this second film, I find pointless. I get that. There's parts of her getting used in this film where she's trying to help out these characters. I like that idea. However, she escaped death for years now and has her own solitary confinement now. But it's just, okay, these random group of kids want to talk to you about death or something like that. All right, go ahead, go talk to the crazy chick. Then they want her to help them. She ends up deciding to later on, and she just does all that to get killed. I just find that such a weird way to bring her character back. Okay, yeah, you'll help them a little bit, but then you're done. So, yeah, I mean, she made a paycheck at least, right? But it's just, I don't know. I think it adds a little bit to the survivors because they got survive basically on their own without anyone that's had any past experience besides them. So I guess that it has that going for it, but still, I don't know. Next thing in here is the horror comedy approach in this one. So the first film was very much more of a serious film. This time around, they go for more of a comedic approach. Not as comedic as,
like, say 3 or 4, but still, it still has a dark tone to it. But I don't think I'm 50-50 on how if both of those work well or not. Because moments it does, and the moments I go like, I don't know. I wished it was still serious.
And probably the biggest mixed aspect I have for this film is the main final girl in here that you have of Kimberly, played by AJ Cook. And, she is certainly a protagonist you want to root for. However, there's nothing to stand out about her necessarily compared to all the other protagonists I've watched in this franchise. So I've only seen the first 3 movies. and I don't think she really compares much to Alex and Gwen? Yeah, Gwen. In the next third film of the franchise. So I always thought that's probably been my biggest mixed aspect since I've watched this movie. So there's that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the bad. And I hate to be a broken record, but the CGI, and it's not for the kills. It's more particularly for the premonition sequences after the opening part of the film. I'm talking about where you, just like the first film, where you see stuff on certain reflections or whatever of how someone's gonna die. I didn't like that in the first film, and this one, it's even more so. So, wasn't a fan of that. But the biggest bad I have in here, and the final thing negative I have to say about this movie, and the spoilers for the people that have not seen this film, but Alex's off-screen death. So you're telling me he got marved off screen, so he just endured this? I always thought that was a stupid explanation. Now, don't get me wrong, I understood that Devon Sawa didn't want to come back for the sequel yet, but still, anything's possible in the future, so you could just say, oh, he's alive somewhere else, or whatever, instead of just killing him off screen, because that makes it impossible to bring him back for a sequel now anyways. Unless if they say, oh, well, that was just a rumor. That wasn't actually him that got killed by that brick a few years ago. It was actually somebody else. But it's just, why? Why would you... Yeah. I've always hated that, and that's probably... the biggest negative I have of this franchise is the way that they just kill him off screen. Like, you could have at least had maybe someone stand in where you don't even show the front of their face where they're acting as Alex, and then have a brick fall and hit him right in the back of the head, then die. Like, I would have much rather preferred that over them just saying, oh, well, he just got hit by a brick off screen. Yeah, and there's no scene whatsoever. It's just in a news article, which I don't know why they did that. But anyways, other than that, honestly, I'm gonna say it right here before even my ranking comes out, this actually is my favorite of the Final Destination movies. So with that being said, let's bring out the toxic meter. And I'm going to give this a not toxic, an A-. And yes, I enjoyed this more than the first film, even though that one nitpick aside that they decided to kill that character off. Still thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just my thoughts, though, on Final Destination 2. Be sure to let me know your thoughts of the film down below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.